Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I usually cover sister wives. You know, Cody Brown, 4 wives, 18 kids, and about 27 years of relationship drama packed into one show. But today we're switching things up. We're diving into Seeking Sister Wife. Now, first things first here, because this question always comes up, are Seeking Sister Wife and Sister Wives actually related? The short answer is kind of. They're not spin-offs of each other, but the comparisons are baked in. There's even a real life family connection here. The Aldridge family, who showed up in season 1 of Seeking Sister Wife back in 2018, are actually connected to the Browns. Vanessa Aldridge's brother, Mitch Thompson, married Christine and Cody's Brown's daughter, Aspen, that same year. So yeah, TLC's polygamy universe is smaller than it looks, and trust me, the cast of Sister Wives has noticed the comparisons too. In 2019, Janelle Brown actually threw some shade at Seeking Sister Wife. She saw a commercial where a couple was getting a little too intimate before marriage, and she jumped in on Twitter to say, just a quick comment on Seeking Sister Wife commercial. Just can't help myself. Intimacy before commitment is a bad idea from our perspective. In our culture, it's prohibited. You are dating a family, not a man. Classic Janelle, polite but also total mic drop. And honestly, she's right. The Browns always framed plural marriage as this very religious long-term lifestyle. Whereas Seeking Sister Wife, it often looks like speed dating with a side of jealousy and paperwork. So no, the two shows aren't officially connected, but there's always going to be a comparison. If Sister Wives is about the long-term unraveling of one big plural family, Seeking Sister Wife is about the chaotic beginnings, the dating, the awkward introductions, the culture clashes, the heartbreaks, and the wives who may or may not last more than a season. Two different flavors of TLC polygamy, both messy in their own ways. What is Seeking Sister Wife? So let's talk about what the show actually is. Seeking Sister Wife premiered in 2018 on TLC, riding off the success of Sister Wives, but with a different focus. Instead of following one big family that's already established, this show is about families in various stages of adding a new wife. The whole premise is, what does it look like to date inside a plural marriage? And spoiler alert, it looks messy. The show leans into the emotional roller coaster of it all: jealousy, cultural differences, family members resisting, legal immigration hurdles, and of course the big one, whether or not the new wife actually sticks around. So while Sister Wives is about maintenance and survival, Seeking Sister Wife is about recruitment and transition. It's like the difference between watching someone renovate a house that's falling apart versus watching someone try to build a house on shaky ground in the first place. Now, full disclosure, this is my very first time watching this show. I've seen clips before, but I never actually sat down to watch it straight through. And let me just say, if Sister Wives is like a slow burn docuseries about faith and family unraveling over the years, Seeking Sister Wife is like strapping into reality TV roller coaster where every curve is drama, every drop is messy, and TLC is in the background cackling. So today we're recapping season 6, episode 1. But before we do that, I want to give a little background for anyone who, like me, is new to this show, because the history here really helps explain why people get hooked. All right, so let's go all the way back to 2018. For season 1, this is where it all started. TLC introduced families like Ashley and Dimitri trying to build a throuple. Their storylines ended up being some of the most controversial in the whole franchise, especially later with allegations against Dimitri. We also met the Aldridge family, and as mentioned, they connect back to the Browns. In season 2, new families came in, including the Wilders, who were more traditional and rooted in religion, and the Mackeys, who sadly later made headlines after Bernie McKee's sudden passing. The Snowdens continued their search, and things got rocky. Season 3 brought in the Merrifields, who became one of the most talked about families on the show. Garrick and Danielle tried to bring in Roberta, a woman from Brazil, and let's just say it was awkward from the start. We'll talk more about them in a minute because they're still around in season 6. Season 4, well, this season gave us more of the Davis family, Nick and his 3 wives, and the Foleys. Again, every family has its own unique take on why they wanted plural marriage, but drama was the common denominator here. In season 5, well, by now the show had really leaned into the chaos. The Merrifields were still around, and viewers were watching to see if Garrick would actually succeed with any of his relationships. Nick Davis was still juggling his wives, and the new couples kept the drama coming. That's the gist. Every season brings in a mix of returning families and in new ones, and the drama tends to repeat itself. Jealousy, cultural clashes, and husbands who seem to be having a way better time than their wives. So let's dive in now to season 6, episode 1. The episode kicks off with 3 families, and right away you can tell this season is going to be a roller coaster, because if Sister Wives is a story of polygamy trying to look respectable, Seeking Sister Wife is TLC saying, let's just lean into the mess. All right, so let's start with the Williamsons. Reese and Billie Jean, and listen, these two immediately stood out to me because they don't fit the usual Seeking Sister Wife mold. Normally on this show, you get the vibe that the husband is leading the charge. He's the one who wants another wife. He's pitching it like, oh, honey, it'll be great. You'll have more companionship, another set of hands to help with the kids, and hey, I get a bit more romance. But with the Williamsons, the energy is flipped a bit. Billie Jean is the one driving the bus. She's very open about the fact that she struggles with infertility, and she and Reese want a big family. Her dream is literally multiple houses on one property, each wife in her own space, each contributing to a large family unit. For her, polygamy isn't just about romance or competition. It's about building the family she can't biologically have on her own. And honestly, that makes this kind of refreshing compared to some of the other couples we've seen. But also, let's talk about their vibe a little bit. These two give major theater kid energy. Royce was in a show choir. Billie Jean worked backstage. And when they tell their love story, it's like a Broadway retelling of High School Musical. But here's where things get a little uncomfortable. They brought up people questioning Royce's sexuality. Apparently, people in their circle have wondered if he's actually into women. And look, sexuality is personal, but the way the show framed it was awkward, especially when they started talking about it in public. Like they're at dinner, poor Royce is having this serious moment, and the waitress is just standing there with her notepad, like, do you want fries with that conversation? I don't know if TLC edited it that way on purpose, but it was giving secondhand embarrassment to the audience. So bottom line with the Williamsons, unique motivation, high energy personalities, and already dropping awkward bombshells in episode 1. TLC knew exactly what they were doing, putting them first. Next up, oh boy, the Merrifields. Garrick and Danielle are back for their 3rd season. I don't even know where to start with these two. If you've watched them before, you know Garrick has, let's just say, unique interpretation of his faith. He always claims God is telling him to bring new women into their marriage. But the track record, well, it's not that great. Let's just run it down real quick. First, there was Roberta from Brazil. Garrick and Danielle legally divorced so Garrick could bring her over as a fiance visa. But once she realized the financial support wasn't adding up, she peaced out. Then there was Nathalia, which didn't work out either. And now in season 6, we meet Lorena. Lorena is from Rio. She's on a K1 visa and she's moving into the life in Colorado. And you could already see the culture shock coming a mile away. Like imagine leaving the beaches of Rio for small town Colorado winters. That's not just a move, that's a lifestyle whiplash. And of course, Garrick is doing his usual thing, quoting scripture to justify why God wants him to have multiple wives. But every time he says, God told me, I just hear, I told myself. Danielle, meanwhile, has this constant look on her face like she's trying to convince herself she's okay with it. You almost want to reach out through the screen and give her a hug because her body language is screaming discomfort. The previews even hint at the same cycle happening again. Garrick falling head over heels. The new woman realizes this isn't what she signed up for. And Danielle is left holding back tears while Garrick acts confused. It's deja vu at this point. So yeah, the Merrifields are back, but unless Garrick suddenly learns self-awareness, I'm betting this season ends the same way as the last two, with another failed attempt at plural marriage. Finally, we meet Danny and Yesel. And yep, this is textbook Seeking Sister Wives chaos. Their origin story, already wild. They met at a wedding where Yesel, I kid you not, bit Danny on the shoulder. She told him to stop. He did it again. And somehow that turned into marriage. TLC didn't even need dramatic music for that flashback. It was giving instant red flag. But here's where things get even messier. This isn't Yesel's first attempt at bringing in a second wife. He actually dated someone before, someone he already knew, and it did not go well. Danny was clearly uncomfortable with how that relationship unfolded, and the way the show frames it, there's still some leftover tension there. It definitely didn't feel like a mutual decision the first time around. Fast forward to now, they've got kids. Yesel works overseas for months at a time. In his new pitch for plural marriage, he says Danny could use some help while he's gone. Sure, but if you watch closely, the previews strongly suggest that what Yesel really wants is more kids, and Danny is not signing off on that. And the kicker, Yesel literally put up a PowerPoint presentation to convince Danny this is a great idea. I don't know what's worse, that he thought a slideshow was the way to her heart, or that she actually fell for it. Like, this is not Shark Tank. You're not pitching it to investors. You're trying to give in to your wife to share a husband. And let's be real, Danny does not look convinced. She's nodding, smiling politely, but you can tell she's hoping this whole plan crashes and burns before it even gets off the ground. And honestly, who can blame her? So yeah, this family is messy, but messy is TLC's favorite ingredient. And based on what we've seen so far, they're about to serve up a whole lot of drama this season. So that's episode 1. 3 families, 3 completely different dynamics, but all headed straight for drama. Here's what I noticed right away. Compared to Sister Wives, where polygamy is always framed as this religious lifestyle choice that's supposed to be about the family and faith, on Sister Wives, the big question is always, how do we keep this giant family together? On Seeking Sister Wife, the big question is, can this even get off the ground without imploding? And honestly, that's why people are watching. With the Browns, you're watching long-term consequences. With these families, you're watching short-term disasters. TLC knows exactly what they're doing here. They gave us the chaos of dating, the tears, the awkward dinners, the culture shocks, and the husbands who keep insisting that this is what God or destiny or PowerPoint slides want. The only people who consistently look excited in these storylines are the husbands. Everyone else, the wives, the kids, the new potential sister wives, they all look stressed, hesitant, or straight up miserable half the time. And that's what makes it such a wild contrast to Sister Wives, where even when things are falling apart, the wives were at least the ones who originally agreed to the lifestyle. Here, half the time, the wives are like, wait, did I want this? So that's my recap and first impressions of Seeking Sister Wife, Season 6, Episode 1. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do any of these families seem like they have a real shot at making it work, or is it just TLC serving us the same mess we secretly love to watch? If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss any of my future recaps. I'll be covering this season episode by episode along with Sister Wives, which is also premiering this Sunday. And trust me, if episode 1 is already this dramatic, it's only going to get wilder from here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.